Ladies and gentlemen, in this very moment, as you attend to these resonant words, endeavor to close your eyes and envision yourself positioned amidst a desolate plain, gazing upward at the profound expanse of the nocturnal sky. What unfolds before you is a multitude of twinkling points of luminescence, a magnificent tableau of the cosmos. Yet there exists an element you do not perceive, or more precisely, do not hear, an element that has preoccupied the most eminent intellects of humanity for nearly a century. It is the silence, an absolute, enveloping, and chilling silence. We term this the Great Silence. Do you suppose that extraterrestrial beings have merely not yet sought us out? But consider the possibility that they have arrived long ago, observing us from the primordial epochs, only to depart unobtrusively, or, more alarmingly, that they lurk concealed within the shadows of our solar system, scrutinizing our every action, yet never deigning to extend a greeting. Our narrative commences on a sweltering summer afternoon in 1950, within the renowned Los Alamos laboratory. The brilliant physicist Enrico Fermi, who contributed significantly to inaugurating the atomic era, whilst partaking in luncheon with his colleagues, abruptly set down his utensils and uttered a query that appeared casual but carried profound weight: "Where is everybody?" Those words, dear audience, were not a mere jest amidst postprandial discourse. They resembled a philosophical time bomb, igniting an existential dread that has permeated the collective consciousness of human civilization. Fermi's inquiry was not unfounded. In his mind resided swift yet chillingly precise calculations. Our universe has endured for 13.8 billion years. Its observable diameter spans 93 billion light-years. Within this vast domain reside approximately 2 trillion galaxies. Each galaxy harbors several hundred billion stars. The aggregate number of stars in the cosmos exceeds 20 sextillion. Envision this. Even if habitable planets constitute merely 1 in a trillion, a proportion akin to locating a luminous speck of dust amidst the Sahara Desert, life ought to proliferate ubiquitously. And should intelligent life be rarer still, according to the Drake equation, our Milky Way galaxy alone should host thousands of advanced civilizations. Given the universe's antiquity, such civilizations should have possessed ample duration to colonize the entire galaxy, erecting megastructures such as Dyson spheres to encapsulate stars and harness their energy, or broadcasting potent radio signals across the void. The nocturnal firmament should resound like a bustling marketplace of electronic transmissions, illuminated by the radiance of antimatter propulsion systems. Yet what confronts us in reality? We have listened intently, straining our auditory faculties toward the heavens for 76 years. The response we receive is naught but a resounding zero. Nothing save a lethal stillness, an isolation of the utmost profundity. The Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence program, initiated in 1960, has employed colossal radio telescopes, akin to the Earth's immense auditory appendages, vigilantly scanning the skies around the clock, surveying millions of stars across innumerable frequencies. The James Webb Space Telescope, humanity's celestial eye, has corroborated the existence of over 6,000 exoplanets, including thousands of rocky worlds resembling Earth, enveloped in atmospheres rich with water vapor, oxygen, and carbon dioxide. Recent advancements, as of early 2026, include the confirmation of 7 additional exoplanets via refined observations from multiple telescopes, such as the Keck 2 Observatory and the Hale Telescope. These discoveries, archived in public scientific repositories, underscore the accelerating pace of exoplanet detection, with projections indicating the tally may reach 10,000 within a few years. Ladies and gentlemen, recall the year 2025. It was a period when the scientific community and the public alike erupted in unparalleled excitement upon detecting dimethyl sulfide on the planet K2-18b. On Earth, this gas is produced in substantial quantities solely by planktonic organisms in the oceans. It appeared as incontrovertible evidence, An indelible biosignature, did it not? We believed we were on the cusp of grasping the truth. Yet jubilation proved fleeting. Shortly thereafter, more profound spectroscopic analyses delivered a sobering rebuke to that optimism. It transpired that the signal might merely result from intricate volcanic processes or enigmatic chemical reactions within a hydrogen-rich atmosphere that we have yet to fully comprehend. No life whatsoever, merely inanimate chemistry. Then, in July of that same year, an uninvited visitor from interstellar space graced our vicinity, the comet Borisov, originating from a distant stellar system with an orbit and velocity betraying its extramural provenance. The Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence initiative promptly mobilized the Allen telescope array to scan for any artificial signal. A synthetic beep perhaps. By December 2025, the findings were disclosed. Silence once more. No radio emissions, no disguised spacecraft, no alien probe, merely a frigid boulder of ice, adrift aimlessly through the cosmic expanse. Toward the close of 2025, the James Webb Space Telescope captured imagery of a peculiar planet resembling a lemon in form. Shrouded in diamond dust and dense clouds of ash, another world exhibited an atmosphere undergoing real-time erosion, as if being liquefied by its host star. What do these revelations signify? They attest to the universe's boundless ingenuity, capable of forging myriad bizarre, fantastical, and inhospitable realms. Nevertheless, it conspicuously lacks one essential component: civilizations proficient in radio transmission. The abundance of inanimate matter accentuates the dearth of intellect. Yet, ladies and gentlemen, the enigma does not confine itself to distant stars. It manifests in our own skies. Unidentified anomalous phenomena, these aerial enigmas unidentified. In 2021, United States intelligence publicly acknowledged their existence for the first time. The congressional hearings of 2023 reverberated globally. By 2025, subsequent sessions proliferated. The September convening of the prior year endeavored to restore public confidence, pledging transparency regarding unidentified anomalous phenomena and safeguarding whistleblowers. The fiscal year 2026 National Defense Authorization Act incorporated provisions mandating the Pentagon's Office of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution to review and submit additional interception records. Veteran military personnel and seasoned aviators have emerged to disclose recoveries of non-human aerial vehicles. In declassified footage, we witness objects executing turns swifter than lightning, instantaneous displacements sans sonic disturbance, accelerating from stasis to Mach 10 in an instant, defying known principles of inertia and aerodynamics. But what ensues? Authorities reiterate the perennial refrain: further data is required. Disclosed videos persist in their ambiguity and blur. What does this imply? Perhaps advanced civilizations either never existed, or they once flourished but perished en masse. Or, more disconcertingly, they mastered the art of silence, concealing themselves meticulously, eradicating all traces to evade an unknown peril. To unravel this silence, let us commence with the most benign, yet solitary, conjecture, the rare Earth hypothesis. Perhaps we are unique. We represent the universe's singular exemplar. Contemplate the myriad perils that intelligent life must surmount to emerge. It necessitates a star that burns steadily for billions of years, neither excessively hot nor cold, a planet precisely within the Goldilocks zone, the habitable belt, a robust magnetic field to deflect lethal cosmic rays, a substantial satellite like the Moon to stabilize axial rotation, preventing climatic extremes, giant planets akin to Jupiter serving as guardians, absorbing hazardous asteroids, tectonic plates to cycle carbon, maintaining thermal equilibrium, an oxygen-laden atmosphere, and crucially, multiple mass extinctions to select and compel life's evolution towards sophisticated cognition. Each juncture bears astronomical improbability. Scientists have employed supercomputers to simulate the progression from primordial chemical soups to industrial civilizations capable of radio telescopes. The outcomes astonish. The probability of this sequence may plummet to 10 to the power of -50. You heard correctly. This exceeds the difficulty of tossing a coin continuously for 10,000 years and yielding heads each time. Compared to randomly sequencing a deck of cards precisely, our emergence proves 10 million times rarer. Models from 2025 further diminish this likelihood. As James Webb discoveries of bizarre planets affirm the universe's predilection for infernal worlds, molten, frozen, or acid-drenched, over serene havens like Earth. Viewed thus, our existence constitutes the cosmos's most outlandish miracle, its utmost absurdity. Other civilizations never had the opportunity to arise. Perhaps we stand alone, not because others perished, but because they never lived. This offers some solace, at least rendering us somewhat exceptional. But what if we are not alone? There exists another explication, far more ominous, dubbed the dark forest hypothesis. This transcends science fiction. It haunts numerous astronomers. They posit the universe is no Pacific fairy tale. No benevolent federation of stars awaits our accession with open arms. The cosmos resembles a pitch-black forest at night. Each civilization is a hunter armed with a firearm, stealthily navigating through foliage, gingerly displacing branches to avoid noise. Why so? Because cosmic resources are finite. Because surpassing light speed is impossible. And communication lags excessively. One can never ascertain another's benevolence or malevolence. This chain of suspicion proves unbreakable. The sole survival axiom, silence and concealment. Strike first to prevail. Broadcasting high-intensity signals. Enveloping planets in radio waves. Constructing Dyson spheres. Or terraforming atmospheres equates to igniting a colossal campfire amid nocturnal woods and proclaiming, "Here I am. With resources, assail me." Advanced civilizations, if extant, evolved to comprehend this verity eons ago. They opt for utter quiescence. They suppress all electronic leakage, dwell in subterranean metropolises, burrow beneath Jovian satellites' thick ice, or even transcended consciousness to ascend higher spatial dimensions, inaccessible to ordinary matter. Humanity, in this portrayal, mimics a naive child newly acquainted with fire, cavorting and shouting amid a predator-laden woodland. We have leaked television, radar, and telephony signals for over a century. Civilizations within 100 light-years radius undoubtedly know Earth's coordinates. Yet we ingenuously employ messaging extraterrestrial intelligence initiatives to bellow into the void, "We are here. We are lonely. Come commune with us." Meanwhile, they may lurk with weapons poised, observing from obscurity and smirking, awaiting our self-destruction or an opportune moment to act. For eradicating a nascent, noisy, technologically burgeoning civilization proves safer than risking dialogue. The trepidation escalates with yet another conjecture, the zoo hypothesis. This posits not only their existence but technologies surpassing ours by billions-fold. They detected Earth in its infancy, electing to quarantine us within a vast wildlife preserve. Akin to humans fencing pandas or observing ant colonies. They abstain from interfering in our natural progression, deploying invisible telescopes or probes for remote surveillance. They established a cosmic blockade encircling our solar system. Any civilization attempting superluminal egress would be subtly neutralized or spacetime warped back inward. Why? Perhaps an elevated scientific ethic. Desiring our unadulterated evolution, witnessing a primitive society's trajectory from Stone Age to nuclear self-annihilation. Alternatively, in their estimation, we are inferior, aggressive, and unclean. Contacting humanity invites cultural or biological contamination. You deem yourself the cosmos's protagonist. Yet to them, you are merely a caged primate, of marginal amusement, wholly unworthy of egalitarian discourse. And at skepticism's zenith, ladies and gentlemen, certain scientists suspect our perceived universe is illusory, the simulation hypothesis. This contends we inhabit a hyper-advanced computer program orchestrated by a higher dimensional civilization. In 2025, An essay analyzing cosmic ray spectra unearthed suspicious anomalies. Patterns in cosmic microwave background radiation resemble deliberate open-source code. Quantum uncertainty, spatial pixelation at Planck scales. Light speeds limit, all mimic hardware constraints. Rules of a holographic game engine. If voracious, extraterrestrial civilizations do not exist within our universe, we are the sole instance, or an isolated server, they do not seek us. For programmers do not enter games to fraternize with non-player characters. We strive to locate them, but perhaps we pursue the fingers tapping keys beyond the screen. Thus, confronting this great silence, what course shall we pursue? Persist with messaging extraterrestrial intelligence to howl into nothingness? Or promptly mute, dismantling archaic electronic detritus and mastering concealment? The scientific community stands profoundly divided. Optimists advocate amplified broadcasting, wagering on cosmic benevolence. Conservatives quake in terror, petitioning bans on active signals, even advocating destruction of leaked 20th-century broadcasts. For such emissions resemble breadcrumbs guiding hunters. Professor Avi Loeb of Harvard once articulated a phrase inducing prolonged contemplation: if we are alone, humanity's burden is overwhelming. We are consciousness's sole torch in a tenebrous universe. If not, the lurking peril is immense. In January 2026, commercial space endeavors burgeon unprecedentedly. SpaceX's Starship prepares for human Mars missions. Orbital hotels commence construction. Within decades, hundreds of thousands may venture beyond Earth, beholding our azure world externally. Then, we might personally encounter the overview effect, realizing our diminutiveness and fragility. Yet until then, Fermi's paradox persists as an ineradicable thorn, embedded deeply in every soul. Have you pondered why we yearn so fervently to discover them? Is it dread of solitude? Or terror of cosmic isolation? Or something more frightful, fear of ourselves? What if tomorrow, all telescopes concurrently detect a colossal vessel inexorably approaching Earth? Are we prepared? No. Cease contemplation. Perhaps they long ago deemed us unready. Certain truths, grasped prematurely, would shatter this nascent civilization in panic. This enveloping tranquility might be their ultimate mercy, not to annihilate us, but to illuminate our insignificance, not to drive us mad, but to awaken us to humanity's collective naivety and vulnerability. As early as 1946, the brilliant Soviet physicist Nikolai Kozyrev, whilst investigating torsion theory, unearthed a phenomenon shattering contemporaneous physics foundations, measuring energy fields from a star distant from Earth, then calculating via astronomical computations its future position, since light requires time to traverse. Observed positions reflect the past. He discovered identical energy fields at that invisible future locus. From this, Kozyrev posited an audacious, nigh-mad hypothesis on time. He asserted time is no abstract constant, but a physical energy form, underpinning all cosmic operations. It possesses density, flow, and crucially, alterability. Time varies not merely in velocity but can accelerate, decelerate, and reverse. What we term past, present, and future are merely subjective, limited human interpretations. In reality, within the universe's grand energy flux, they coexist simultaneously. Over subsequent decades of reflection and experimentation, Kozyrev reportedly succeeded in distorting time by nearly 10 seconds at microscales using a specialized concave lens. Building upon this, he employed a colossal concave aluminium mirror, spiraled per the golden ratio, to fabricate a device reflecting and converging temporal energy. This apparatus became known as the Kozyrev Mirror. The hypothesis: an individual at its focal point would escape linear temporal flow, existing across multiple points on the space-time continuum, ultimately perceiving, even visually, their own past and future. Yet, precisely as the device neared completion, Kozyrev met an abrupt demise under mysterious circumstances. The project languished until 1990, when at an isolated laboratory on Dixon Island near the Arctic Circle. Scientists V. Kaznarchev and A. Trofimov recommenced these bizarre extrasensory experiments. From the inaugural day, supernatural phenomena ensued, defying physical laws. Subjects entering the spiral mirror not only experienced primal, inexplicable fear, but external instruments registered violent magnetic fluctuations. More alarmingly, above the facility, locals and researchers repeatedly cited luminous disc-shaped objects hovering, then vanishing into nothingness. Within the chamber, nearly all participants reported perceiving glowing symbols flashing persistently, accompanied by severe physiological symptoms like vertigo and nausea. Upon analyzing sketches of these symbols by volunteers, scientists made a staggering discovery. Most were ancient scripts from vanished civilizations worldwide. Predominantly, they originated from humanity's eldest known culture, the Sumerian. This led Kaznarchev and Trofimov to hypothesize that subjects inadvertently accessed a global information field, archiving humanity's collective memories across eras. As experiments progressed, participants' physiology and psyche adapted. After approximately 1 hour inside the mirror, initial terror dissipated entirely. In its stead emerged unprecedented serenity and tranquility, coupled with sensations of bodily dissolution and mid-air suspension. Soon, surroundings distorted, the laboratory's cold metallic walls vanished, and instantaneously, one volunteer found himself amid a sun-drenched park in afternoon light. Therein, he beheld children at play. Among them, one evoked intense, poignant familiarity. Swiftly, he recognized the child as his 5-year-old self. The instant their gazes, adult and juvenile past, met, the scene warped anew, twisting and transforming, restoring him to Dixon's frigid laboratory. Ultimately, analyzing comprehensive records revealed nearly 32% of participants viewed reflections of their personal pasts within the mirror. The remaining 68% witnessed detailed historical events previously unknown to them, alongside scenes purportedly from the future. These experiences' vivid authenticity sufficed to convince them the Kozyrev device was genuinely a time machine, or minimally a window-piercing temporality. Yet the most harrowing detail persists. Over 1/3 reported a shared phenomenon, sensing, and occasionally glimpsing, a humanoid entity composed entirely of light, stationed in a shadowed corner, incessantly observing. Though features remained indistinct, they affirmed unequivocally it was non-human. Its gaze conveyed no emotion, merely cold, objective scrutiny. This evokes the zoo hypothesis discussed. Perhaps, when humanity attempts temporal breaches, we inadvertently glimpse invisible wardens guarding Earth's enclosure. Ultimately, compounded by unidentified flying objects persistently harassing the site, the Kozyrev Mirror project terminated after 1 year. All records classified top secret. Thenceforth, no official disclosures ensued. Western mainstream science typically dismisses Kozyrev's temporal theories as fanciful, contravening relativity. Nevertheless, scientific history demonstrates Kozyrev was no deluded visionary. Many of his once mocked hypotheses later proved valid. A prime exemplar, his observations of transient lunar luminescence. Then, the Moon was deemed a lifeless rock. Yet Kozyrev insisted on ongoing geological activity. Subsequent space missions confirmed volcanic remnants and gas venting on the lunar surface. Thus, might the time mirror experiments also constitute buried truths? Though presently we struggle for definitive answers, one certainty endures: the enigmatic Kozyrev mirror experiments indeed occurred, and participants' encounters were profoundly chilling, challenging humanity's comprehension of the cosmos, time, and our locus amid this great silence. Ladies and gentlemen, the cosmos is vast and rife with mysteries we may lack maturity to fathom. The external silence might signify emptiness, or calculated concealment. Until answers emerge, let us gaze skyward with humility and reverence. We extend our gratitude for your time in listening and contemplating alongside us. Farewell. and we anticipate reconvening in subsequent exploratory voyages. Ladies and gentlemen, as the dossiers on Kozyrev's time mirrors close, we confront not merely a historical enigma, but a threshold to a grander, more formidable, and terrifying query. What we have deliberated transcends a mere physical apparatus or forgotten experiment. It constitutes a minor fissure in perception's wall, whence an alternate reality's light strives to infiltrate humanity's constricted worldview. Today, in this concluding segment blending philosophy and science, we eschew isolated phenomena, we address existence's essence, the cosmos's great silence, and consciousness's destiny amid oblivion's ocean. Commence by revisiting time's concept, which Kozyrev pursued lifelong and which confines us in finitude. Conventionally, time flows linearly, sweeping all from past to future. We birth, mature, age, and return to dust in irreversible sequence. This aligns with thermodynamics laws, entropy's ceaseless augmentation, disorder's proliferation. Yet if Kozyrev's conjecture and mirror experiences hold truth, time is no river but a vast, static ocean. Therein, past, present, and future coexist parallel, like scattered isles on water. We, three-dimensional entities, merely propel our consciousness vessel across isles, erroneously believing prior ones vanished and subsequent unformed. This yields a poignant scientific paradox. Peering deeper into the cosmos equates to delving further into the past. When James Webb relays resplendent images of galaxies 13 billion years distant, we view no contemporary universe. We observe specters. Light requires billions of years to reach Earth, rendering nocturnal skies a stellar necropolis. Long extinct stars persisting in illusion. We are imprisoned by light's velocity, isolated in our temporal cage. We never grasp the universe. Now, perhaps elsewhere, grand civilizations collapsed, or galactic empires arose, but tidings arrive post-humanity's extinction. Humanity's solitude, thus, is not merely spatial but temporal isolation absolute. And within this isolation, the luminous entities, or observers, in Kozyrev's experiments grow ever more haunting. Accepting the zoo hypothesis, that Earth is a preserve, laboratory, or biological prison, necessitates wholly redefining humanity's cosmic stature. We pride ourselves as evolution's pinnacle, this planet's stewards. We erect skyscrapers, fission atoms, dispatch probes beyond our system. Yet to a superior civilization, or fourth or fifth dimensional entities, humanity's strife and advancement might resemble an ant colony's motions within glass. The cold, impassive observation participants described signifies not hostility but indifference from a higher order. Analogous to microscopically examining bacteria, we harbor no hatred, yet neither commune. We merely record, analyze, occasionally intervene for reactions. Might humanity's historical cataclysms, natural disasters, or technological leaps bear invisible influences from these wardens? Kozyrev perhaps inadvertently tuned to behold our beholders, prompting project's cessation. Certain portals must remain sealed, for human minds are ill-designed to confront truths that we are not the cosmos's protagonists. Broadening, we confront the great silence, or Fermi paradox. With billions of trillions of stars, intelligent life's probability nears certainty. Why then cosmic muteness? No signals received. Two terrifying prospects. First, intelligent life exceedingly rare. We consciousness's lone flame in endless night. Our duty then colossal, for self-destruction extinguishes universal awareness eternally. Second, linking to our discourse, the cosmos teems with life. Yet concealed, they hide fearing greater threats, or adhering to strict quarantine for primitives like Earth. Silence signifies not vacancy, but calculated evasion. Contemporary science nears boundaries where physics melds with philosophy and spirituality. Quantum mechanics reveals particles existing multiply until observed. This implies consciousness is no material byproduct, but matter's foundational shaper. Absent observers, does the universe truly exist? or mere probabilistic chaos. Kozyrev's experiments, though dismissed by orthodoxy, touch this core, consciousness-time interconnection. Perhaps our brains are not mere processors, but quantum transceivers, interfacing unseen dimensions. Yet, ladies and gentlemen, comprehension exacts a toll. Probing cosmic source code, we forfeit innocence and security. We resemble a child wandering giant's library, deciphering stellar tomes. We might unearth our origins, or brutal truths making us yearn for perpetual somnambulance. But whatever truth, whether free entities or caged specimens, time as river or ocean, truth-seeking remains humanity's noblest virtue. We are minuscule before galaxies, our lifespan a blink to stellar ages. Yet we possess what stars lack: inquiry and awe. We are the universe's mirror for self-regard. In humanity's forthcoming odyssey, as technology propels us to Mars, Jovian icy moons, and proximate systems, we carry lessons from audacious, somewhat mad pioneers like Kozyrev. We persist questioning, knocking reality's sealed doors, hearkening void's echoes, for cosmic silence is no cause to cease voicing, but impetus to intone existence's anthem. Perhaps someday secrecy's veil lifts. We might clasp stellar brethren's hands, or realize utter solitude. Until then, cherish each present instant, for in infinite cosmos and endless time, our presence here, now, contemplating these, is itself the grandest miracle. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's sky remains tranquil as across billions of years. Yet hopefully, post this discourse, gazing stars ward, you perceive not mere insensate gleams, but beacons of enigmas awaiting revelation. Sustain curiosity's flame, maintain minds open to the impossible. On behalf of our program's creators, we thank you for precious time journeying to hypotheses' extremities, teetering on knowledge's precipice, peering into boundless void. Exploring cosmos and self is endless voyage, and we are honored to accompany you thereon. We express profound gratitude, farewell, and anticipate reuniting in subsequent cosmic tales.